Yoga. How to practice yoga in everyday life, improve your energy, and achieve peace of mind. Written by J. Lorin. Narrated by Stephen M. Gillikin.
Introduction. Yoga for beginners is now super easy to learn. For those who have never attended any yoga programs before, it does not matter. Within the course of Yoga for beginners, the yogis, the person who practices yoga and contains realized a higher amount of psychic perception, focuses on the marriage of head, body, and nature, and declares that this is attained during the yoga practices and techniques. The yogis believe that one's mind and body were strapped into a good design. If this is the first time you've read about yoga, you will certainly marvel on how yoga exercises are done and just how it seems. You will also know which type of yoga position is going to be best for you. Yoga has conducted a remarkable procedure of healing someone through equilibrium. Yoga may be properly performed when you are in the right environment. With the awesome effects of yoga, several doctors have already been convinced that this exercise also gives therapeutic benefits. Plus, they can recommend this exercise for those who have hard-to-cure illnesses. Try to study the roles of yoga if you have suffered from a long-time disease. You must first genuinely believe that this exercise will help you be restored or to become cured before exercising the positions of yoga. The opportunities of yoga are extremely exciting to execute. As a novice, you'll find it not too difficult to carry on using the workouts because it is very simple. The yoga process adds movement that is great for your body organs, and it also involves moving parts of your body which are rarely stimulated. Some simple rules of yoga for novices are actually similar to those who are already practicing yoga. They include the standing poses, the seated poses, a head and backward stability together with bends and twisting. The intense poses and opportunities will be handled in the latter part of the yoga exercise. You can discover the opportunities of yoga for newbies at home or any yoga course. However, as you are a starter, the main thing you need to know is your self-control. It is not merely about performing yoga, since it does not matter whether it's yoga for newbies or yoga for the master. Chapter 1. A Brief History of Yoga. The practice of yoga has a vast and extensive history. As we saw in the introduction to the book, yoga is a physical, mental, and spiritual practice, consisting of a range of movements which originated in India and has strong links to Hinduism and Buddhism. In this chapter, we'll be going into some further detail about where yoga came from, how it started, and how it's evolved into what it is today. Yoga is largely believed to date back to the 5th and 6th centuries BCE, so approximately 2,700 years ago. Of course, no one can be certain, but experts claim that yoga originated during ancient India's ascetic and Shramana periods. Yoga is most closely associated with the religions of Hinduism and Buddhism. As such, even from the earliest recordings of it, yoga has been practiced in a number of different ways. The most commonly practiced schools or yoga today include Buddhist, Hindu, Jain, Tantra, and the modern health application of yoga. Even within these schools, there are more schools still which practice yoga differently. For example, within Hinduism, classical yoga, Ashtanga yoga, Hatha yoga, and Shaivism are practiced. Yoga was introduced to the Western world relatively recently, with Swami Vivekananda being one of the most successful yoga gurus to bring yoga to the West in the late 19th century. Yoga began to rise in popularity as a form of exercise in the 1980s, not 40 years ago. As yoga travels and is introduced to different cultures and communities around the world, so it diversifies and expands even further, bringing more and more schools and practices under the umbrella term that is yoga. As you can see, the origins of yoga are extremely complex and diverse. It's such an ancient art that it's unclear as to how, when, and exactly where yoga was first practiced. What we do know for certain, though, is that in one way or another, yoga has stood the test of time and remains a popular and wholesome form of exercise, meditation, and religious practice. So what does yoga mean today, and how has it changed?
Sample complete. Ready to continue?